Anthony, what made number 13 so special?
Niki, he was a pleasure to watch play the game in pretty much every facet of it. Professional hitter, capable defender. He's on most of the Met lists in terms of career achievement and stats and all that stuff. And he was just somebody who, like, maybe he wasn't the flashiest guy around. Maybe he wasn't, me, draw attention to. But he always was accomplishing something positive for the Mets. And he was one of the backbone pieces of those great late 90s, early 2000s teams there. Indispensable to Bobby Valentine in those days. What a terrific pro he was.
He was an all-star back in 2000. Where do you think he ranks among all-time underrated Mets?
Well, after all that, Niki, I feel like since Met fans got Alfonso for 8 years, they sort of know and appreciate his value more so than who I pick as. So he's the second most underrated guy. To me, number one is John Olerud, who had an unbelievable 3 years with the Mets. He still holds multiple single-season records for his incredible 1998 season, including single-season average, 354, 447 on base. He's the only guy who has a career mark of on-base percentage over 400 in Met history, and also the only guy with a 315 career average as a Met. He was a terrific defensive first baseman as well. He was really a great player. It's too bad it was only 3 years, but then, of course, we got Todd Zeile back to replace him. So that was also a great. He was also a great Met. So we had there was a lot of good Met stuff happening at first base back in those days. And I'm sorry, I forgot about my third one, Carlos Delgado,
He gives me nightmares from that Subway Series in 2008, by the way, so thanks for that.
Yeah, he almost knocked the scoreboard down, right? Well, look, he's a guy who probably should be in the Hall of Fame, and crowding on the ballot sort of knocked him out because of the limit of 10, but he should have gotten much more consideration for a Hall spot in Cooperstown. Wonderful power hitter.
Any more?
No, that's it. They only gave me 3. I could go on all day, so.
Well, we can't talk about underrated Mets without talking about underrated Yankees. JJ, who hasn't gotten enough recognition that's worn pinstripes?
Niki, I was so excited for this little homework assignment that we got from our producer, Mike Robinson. I gave it some thought. I threw it out on social media, on the Twitter, and I have 3 names that came to mind. Number 3, Jeff Nelson. To me, an integral part of what they had back into the bullpen. Everybody talks about the brilliance of the greatest closer of all time, and Mariano Rivera. But the Yankees had Jeff Nelson anchoring that bullpen, 96, 98, 99, 2000, sub-3 postseason career ERA. Number 2, you talk to guys on the Boston Red Sox. Had Papelbon on my podcast about a month ago. He said, I couldn't get Matsui out. They could not figure out Hideki Matsui. The Red Sox hated facing Hideki Matsui. And, of course, he brings it full circle with the 2009 World Series MVP. But you want to talk about a clutch Yankee. He was as clutch as it gets and such a professional. And I know it's going to sound crazy for Bernie Williams to be number 1 on this list. But to me, he's clearly underrated because there's all this core 4 nonsense. Don't get me wrong. All 4 of those guys are iconic. Should be a Fab 5. Bernie Williams was the young player to start it all for the Yankees. 1995, homers both sides of the plate against Randy Johnson, Division Series. 96, walk-off homers. His postseason numbers are crazy good. I mean, he is amongst the leaderboards across the board. Home runs, RBIs, walk-off hits for the New York Yankees. Bernie Williams had a tremendous career and does not get the love that he deserves. So he's number 1, Niki, on my list.
For me, Jason Giambi.
Nice
really
choice.
Integral part of those early 2000s teams. And then where is he now? I feel like no one talks about him. Hannah, you get more of a broad choice. In all of baseball today, who do you think is most underrated?
Okay. JJ gave our producers credit for this lovely segment, so I'm going to throw our producers under the bus a little bit.
Oh, boy.
Too hard.
I did not know that I was the only one going to be answering for current all of baseball. I thought perhaps Francisco Lindor would be how we got into this conversation, so I didn't put him on my list because I thought, you guys will all think of that. So this is no shade at Francisco Lindor, who certainly deserves more attention. I went Zach Wheeler first. This is underrated is tricky because it's like they have to both be good, but you also have to think that they're not as highly rated as maybe other really, really good players. Since he has joined the Phillies, Zach Wheeler has the best Fangraphs pitcher WAR in all of baseball. In that time, he's only been an all-star twice, and he's only got 1 top 3 Cy Young finish. And I know that's because Cy Youngs are about singular, outstanding seasons. But you'd think that the guy who is, like, if you could pick any pitcher to have had the last 5 years you would want him, and yet he hasn't no Cy Young top votes. Okay, and then Cal Raleigh is that's like my go-to answer for underrated.
I like that.
Because everyone talks about how amazing Mariners pitching staff is. Cal Raleigh is there every day. He is the most games played for any position player on the Mariners, and he's their catcher. That is impressive, and he's basically their most impressive offensive player while Julio's down. And then Willie Adames just doesn't get any credit because the shortstop class is so stacked, but he's good too.